Good morning. Hi, Dr. Crosby. I'm Jyoti Potluri. I'm excited to share my reflections based on the book Every Teacher a Leader by Levin and Shreems. I have carefully considered the four questions you asked, and I'll be sharing my top two skills, top two dispositions, two meaningful ways to reward teacher leaders, and my thoughts on the importance of the relationship between teacher leaders and principals. These responses are based on the both text and my personal experiences as a special education teacher working with neurodiverse learners. Question number 1. What are the top two skills that you feel are the most essential for teacher leaders? My answer, the two skills I think are most essential for teacher leaders are collaboration and problem solving. Let me explain about the collaboration. I believe that collaboration is one of the most important skills for a teacher leader. Working together with other teachers, staff, and families help us support students better. In my classroom, I often team up with speech therapist, occupational therapist, PE, APE coaches, paraprofessionals, and parents to create learning plan for my students with autism spectrum disorder. As a special education teacher, I collaborate with my colleagues and parents in simple but meaningful ways to create learner plan for my students with autism. First, I collaborated with speech therapist, OT, general education teachers, APE, and paraprofessionals. We worked together to create calming routines and visual supports for students who struggled with transitions. Second, I shared strategies with my grade level chair and AP how use sensory bins or flexible seating to support my students. Third, we build shared support plans for students who need extra help. Working together make our teaching stronger and helps every student succeed. Finally, I collaborate with parent every day with communication sheets and reach out parent through text, email and calls according to their situation. When we share ideas and work as a team, we find better solutions and help students succeed. Problem solving. Teacher leaders face many challenges. Problem solving help us stay calm and think clearly. Problem solving is a daily part of being a teacher leader, especially in special education. Whether it is helping a student manage transitions, adjust lessons for different learning styles, or working through challenges with parents or colleagues. I have learned that staying calm, thinking creatively, and working as a team makes all difference. It's not about having all answers. It's about being willing to try, reflect, and keep going until we find what works. That mindset helps me support my students and lead with confidence. Question number 2. What are the top two dispositions that you feel are the most essential for teacher leaders? The two dispositions I considered most essential for teacher leaders are self efficacious and ethical. Self efficacious. This means believing in yourself and your ability to make a difference. A teacher needs this mindset to keep going even when things are hard. For example, I used a choice board to help student who avoided writing. He started practicing more when he could choose how to express himself. I also tried flexible grouping in math, and students were more engaged when they worked in small groups. Based on their learning styles, I trust that with effort and reflection, I can help my students to grow. That belief gives me strength and confidence. Ethical. Being ethical means doing what's right for students. Sometimes I must make tough choices like balancing grade level work with accommodations. I always ask myself, is this fair? Is this respectful? I want my students to feel safe, valued, and included. Teacher leaders must lead with honesty, kindness, and care. For example, I had a student who need extra time on test. Even though the class had moved on, I gave him the time he needed because it was the right thing to do. Another time, I spoke up in a meeting when a student support plan wasn't being followed. I respectfully reminded the team of his needs to make sure he was treated fairly. Question number three. What are the two rewards strategies you think are most meaningful? The two reward strategies I feel most meaningful are verbal affirmations and leadership development opportunities. Verbal affirmations. It's important because a teacher leader often do extra work that isn't always noticed. A kind word, shout out from a principal or a teammate can make feel seen and appreciated. In my classroom, I organized a sensory friendly reading event. Are my students with autism. At the next staff meeting, my AP appreciated me in front of everyone. That small moment gave me a confidence and reminded me that my work matters. It boosts morale, builds trust, and encourages teacher leader to keep going. Simple words can have a big impact. Professional development opportunities. Giving a teacher leader chance to attend workshops, conferences, or trainings shows that their growth matters. It's a reward that also helps them improve and grow. For example, if I could attend a conference on a sensory based strategies or curriculum design or neurodiverse learners, I would feel support and inspired. It helps me bring new ideas back to my classroom and share with others. Even short webinars are also school based training gives me fresh tools to better support my student and collaborate with my team. Question number 4. Do you feel is it important for the teacher leader to have a professional relationship with the principal? Why or why not? I strongly believe that professional relationship between the teacher leader and principal is very important. A positive relationship between the teacher leader and principal sets the tone for how leadership is distributed and supported throughout the school. When principal trust and empower teacher leaders, that kind of leadership becomes more collaboration and more innovation that leads to the school's success. I have heard a lot of more success in advocating for my students and introducing new practices in my role when I have the support of principal who listens and values my input. It's not just about being heard, but also about knowing that I will be back up when necessary. Thank you for the opportunity reflect on these important ideas, Dr. Crosby. Every teacher, a leader, reminded me how leadership shows up in everyday moments in how we collaborate, advocate, and support our students and colleagues. I truly believe that teacher leadership is not just a role but a mindset. I look forward to continuing to grow in this journey and apply these insights in my classroom and beyond. Thank you so much.